Hey, good morning everyone from Phoenix, Arizona. In this video here, we're going to show off the Phoenix Zoo. I go by the Legend, joined by my wonderful girlfriend, Molly. In this video here, we're going to show you all around the zoo. We've never been here before, so we're going to go in and check out all the animals, all the exhibits, and let's go see what they have to offer. So before you even get into the zoo, you're greeted by vultures. There's a turkey vulture and a black vulture. Kind of an interesting animal to have for a first exhibit. So let's kick off our tour on the African Trail. The zoo is divvied up into trails, and this one is home to giraffes, who are very up close to the guests. I also love the setting for this zoo. So you just got giraffes in the foreground and big old mountains in the background. The giraffes, in case you were curious, they do have a ton of room as well. This is one of the larger giraffe exhibits I have ever seen. So when you go to the zoo, you tend to not see every animal awake, and this one, a little depressing for Molly.
I love Finnish fox.
Yeah, you can see their big giant ears. He's moving around a little bit, but he's kind of in a classic fennec fox sleeping pose, like that's how they always sleep. Kind of curled up to a ball, nose stuck underneath their bottom side.
Giant ears up.
Yep. Something I was not expecting to see at the zoo today is Hunt's Tomb, which is this pyramid-look thing up on the hill. It's actually in the park next door. But it's where the first ever governor of Arizona is buried.
And his wife, and 5 family members. Unique.
There's a big desert trail on the back of the African area. So if you want to get back to nature, if the zoo's busy, I'm assuming this stays pretty quiet most of the time.
It would be really hot though.
Yes, if you came here in the summer, this would be rough. So you've heard us mention the mountains in the background of the zoo a couple of times. It's actually part of the zoo. And,
well, this part.
Yeah, this one. It's part of their bighorn sheep exhibit. So you can see the bighorn sheep. They're all kind of chilling out. But these guys, if they wanted to, they could just go climb up that mountain. Here you can see a couple of oryx. Looks like it's lunchtime for them. So I did want to mention real quick, as we're here at the oryx exhibit, these are Arabian oryxes. And I definitely want to bring your attention to this sign over here, as it's been a big conservation effort from the zoo here for quite some time, since it looks like the 60s or so. And they've celebrated here at the Phoenix Zoo more than 240 Arabian oryx birds. For a species that only has about 7,000 animals, that's an incredible effort from them. So kudos to you guys, Phoenix Zoo. Wow, look at the size of that guy. These are
giant.
Yeah, Aldabra tortoises. They have 4. But look how big that dude is. Especially compared to some of the other ones in here.
I like the one eating the grass.
Yeah.
Right. But he's much smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Keep eating, buddy. Grow big and strong.
That's his plan. Here's a good shot of the zoo's African lioness doing what they do best, sleeping. These guys sleep like 20 hours a day, so it's no surprise to see them in a very unconscious state, and that lion definitely looks like it's enjoying quite the nap. I will say the zoo's lion enclosure, it's a good size enclosure, but it feels old. Like this feels like something you would see at a very old zoo. The warthogs are up super close today.
They are adorable.
I like that one's tail. It seems very happy. Yeah, you get a really good look at the warthogs. So a lot of times you see these guys, they're sleeping, or they'll be very in the back of their enclosure. Really, really cool. Looks like it's lunchtime. Sleeping right in front of us is a southern white rhino. And you get to get so incredibly close.
Yeah.
Like, we're probably like 7 feet away.
It's definitely the closest I've ever been.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like you're next to like a triceratops, like the old triceratops encounter at Islands of Adventure. It's a
little different, but
in
yes.
a similar pose. But being this close to a rhino is really neat. And just to show you, there's a fence, but you can really get a clear view over it. Here's a second view of that rhinoceros. Now, not nearly as close this time. You do get a much better view. Beautiful horns. There is also a second rhinoceros just on the other side of the fence if you look behind it as well. This enclosure here is for mandrills and very loud local birds. None of them are giving us, you know, the cool view that you want, but that guy's enjoying some lettuce. So this is pretty neat. There's a baboon right here at the glass who's kind of interested in the camera here. Look how fluffy his head is. Aww. So you got a bit of a glare, but there's a mandrill right up against the glass. Not a zoo animal in most zoos you get anywhere close to. So to be obviously through glass, but so close to him. Really wild. Nothing I can do about the glare, but wow. This enclosure is an interesting mix. You got African crown cranes, you got a very large tortoise, but the most interesting animal is this guy here. It's a gerenuk, which is like the dimensions on it doesn't look like a real animal.
No, super long neck, very, very skinny legs.
Interesting face.
Yeah.
These guys always remind me of something that would be in like Avatar, if they were like painted blue. This one's kind of like playing Where's Waldo? And the answer is a cheetah all the way in the back over there. In another case of weird neighbors here at the Phoenix Zoo, you have a very, very large family of turtles. Look at all those turtles. And there's a bunch in the water as well. Here you can see a ton of flamingos.
And again, super close.
Really, really close. They have a ton of them. Definitely doesn't seem like the greatest flamingo enclosure I've seen. But neat to be this close. Right in the middle of the zoo, you get this kind of interesting area. You got like couches and stuff. One big Canadian goose. And then a big, big lake.
Where the pelicans like to hang out.
Yeah. You do have a couple of, I think it's a lemur island. Over here you can see, yeah, there are some red ruff lemurs. To engage super zoom. Now the pelican wants the attention. But yeah, there's a couple sleepy red ruffs over there. And it looks like they do have a couple other islands with animals on it as well. So, a very interesting area. Over here is a pair of Grevy's zebra. It's big. It's a big zebra. I think this one will be popular with Molly. Up next is the Isle of the Tiger.
I do like tigers.
Looks like the tiger here just woke up from a nap. These are Sumatran tigers, a critically endangered species.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, and I do feel like the tiger exhibit seems to be one of the newer, more modern exhibits at the zoo.
Look at its tongue.
The next exhibit has the same name as the kids area at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. It is the Land of the Dragons. And here you can see the zoo's Komodo dragon, who definitely looks just like a statue. So I don't know if this is going to come out on camera with the grading, but you got a really nice little aviary here. That animal is a Mariana fruit dove. But my favorite is these little guys up here.
Hanging from the roof.
Yeah. They're a blue-crowned hanging parrot. And that's what they do. They sort of hang upside down like they're bats.
Yeah, feeding on fruits just like bats do.
We're now in a pretty neat aviary area. Tons of different types of birds in here. Got that white bird. And it's kind of in two halves. Ooh, there's some big guys in here too. Look how pretty those are. They're really cool. Next exhibit is orangutans, people of the forest. So the orangutan exhibit's pretty neat. They have a whole bunch of indoor areas and outdoor areas. On the day we're here, the indoor section is closed, but you can still see these two. It looks like they're enjoying some food. Here you can see a juvenile orangutan hanging out and swinging around.
He looks like he's enjoying himself.
Yes.
He's having a lot of fun.
Sleeping over here is an animal I'm not too familiar with. This is a maned wolf who looks like a giant fox.
He has giant ears.
Yeah. We got an interesting exhibit here for it's South American animals. So you have the greater rhea, the ray, and then I like these guys a lot. They're Patagonian cavies. Oh, look how many of them they have. They're all just kind of relaxing against the fence, but they're such a neat little animal. I believe they're a rodent, technically. These guys are a couple of crested screamers. And that's a funny looking bird. And they were just vocalizing like a minute ago too. Look at the size of those feet.
They're giant. But the way that they were screaming was
yeah, they were doing that like a minute ago. Having some lunch over here is a Grand Cayman blue iguana. Cool to see him eat like that. Also, the animal of which some of the bars on Carnival Cruise Line is named after.
That is true.
Yeah, the blue iguana, I think it's a tequila bar?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the tacos.
It's a ton. He's got a lot of food. And now it's time for us to go check out the Arizona Trail. So there's a big aviary area when you first get in. And look at the turkey.
A wild turkey.
Yeah, it's a very picturesque turkey there.
Yeah, he is.
And
gorgeous.
he is right up at the fence to say hello. Oh, there's a bunch of other birds and such in here as well. Ducks and ravens and that kind of thing. That guy there, we believe, is a desert box turtle. Here's an indoor area for Arizona reptiles. I like this one. You've got this lizard here, the mandrillion alligator lizard, sort of camouflaged on the wall. But my favorite is this guy, the canyon tree frog. They only grow like 1.5 inches to 2 inches.
And apparently it sounds like a machine gun and a belting of a sheep whenever it croaks.
Which is fascinating for such a tiny little thing.
Yeah.
To the surprise of no one, the Arizona reptile enclosure has lots and lots and lots of snakes.
Rattlesnakes.
Rattlesnakes, non-rattling snakes.
Lots of rattlesnakes.
Yeah.
And diamondbacks.
So I'm not normally the biggest fan of snakes, but these are really neat. These are speckled rattlesnakes.
I've got like 17 species of that.
This is quite a nap pose for this Rio Fuerte bearded lizard.
Oh, they spend 90.
Moving towards us is the Gila monster. Doing the tongue thing, doing a little walk.
He's really cool.
Yeah, that's a cool animal. This guy here is eating a bug. I don't think I've ever seen him before. This is a gidgee skink.
He's from Australia.
Yeah, look at that tail.
He's cool.
It's the Baja blue rock lizard. Molly, you like his stripes.
Yeah, no, they're pretty with the blue and the little green.
This guy here is a Sonoran desert toad. And it's a big toad. Like, that guy is probably 5-6 inches, maybe more. They grow to 4 to 7 inches, so it's a big boy. Hanging out on top of the rock there is a desert iguana.
Apparently they reach up to speeds of 18 miles per hour. That's
Really quick.
Yeah.
Well, I guess look at his little hands.
Look at that toe.
A cool exhibit here with 3 or 4 different types of lizards. My favorite, I think, is this chunky fellow here. I feel like he gets a lot of the food. Digging around in adorable fashion is a prairie dog. I think these guys are just some of the coolest animals.
They make a cute sound.
They do make really funny noises.
Not that sound.
Nope, that's a bird. I'm gonna push a little hole back. So this aviary is really neat. You do have vultures and roadrunners in here, but the star of the show is these little guys. These are burrowing owls, and it's a free flight aviary as well. So we just saw them, you know, fly up here, and then one landed and ran into its little house. They are some of the cutest non-penguin birds out there, I think. Beautiful looking birds of prey here. These are golden eagles. This exhibit here is the coyote exhibit. I only seen one, and he's way in the back over here. There he is. You see super zoom to its fullest extent there. He poses back at us. Also, gotta say, like, this zoo is in just an awesome setting. It's in what's called Papago Park here in the Phoenix area. So, like, beyond this guy's exhibit is this giant mountain. Sleeping over here is an animal that I had no idea was native to Arizona. This is the collared peccary, which is a big hog pig-like animal. It's kind of fuzzy. Here you can see a bobcat who's getting pretty up close to us. I don't think I've ever been this close to a bobcat.
Not one that's awake.
No. And he is doing just normal cat stuff too, which is kind of neat.
I love his
Aww.
tail.
Yeah, it's a very, very small tail. And a very active tail. This massive enclosure here is for pronghorns. I don't see any pronghorns in here, but there is a family of rabbits eating a whole bunch of greens. I love rabbits. I think rabbits are some of the coolest. Sleeping over in the corner is a North American porcupine. Another one that's news to me, parrots are native to Arizona.
Thick-billed parrots.
Yeah, not the time you normally see as pets. Of course, the camera wants to focus on the fence, but this is a very, very large enclosure here for a couple of Mexican wolves. Let's see one hanging out over there. These guys, very, very pretty animals.
Yes, they're gorgeous.
A gigantic, wonderful aviary here for the California condor.
And he had his wings stretched out just
Yeah.
a second ago, and they're giant.
He's doing it a little bit there. And there you can see the bald eagle. Beautiful bald eagle just posing for us here. Next exhibit up is the Forest of Uco. The first exhibit up in the forest area, we can't find them yet, but this is for their Andean bear, which if you're not familiar with Andean bears, they have a sign telling you one that you should be very familiar with, as of course Andean bears are what Paddington was named after. Those Paddington movies, those were great. I'm really excited they're making a third one.
They are?
Yeah, that's gonna be good. It's a pretty neat exhibit. We've got an aquarium down here. You can see the big black pacu fish swimming by. There's a lungfish in there. And then above them is a very colorful macaw. Good news, we found the Andean bear.
Hi, Paddington.
Molly, that bear is not Paddington.
His name is definitely not Paddington.
Paddington lives in London with the Browns. Definitely a smaller bear. Like, I mean, he is probably 3-4 feet long.
For a giant exhibit, too.
Mm-hmm. But I'm happy we got to see him. This guy's a Chicoan peccary. Hanging out over there in the corner of his enclosure. Before today, I did not realize there were multiple species of peccary. Some more large animals over here. You've got a Galapagos tortoise family. And then this one with the scenic view of the road. Molly, it's just like we're back home in Florida. It's the
We're at a swamp.
Yeah, the American alligator exhibit. Honestly, I think it's a really nice exhibit. You have a boardwalk that goes out in front of it. And then for alligators, and they only have 6 in here, they have a ton of room. You do have one hanging out in the water over here. This is not the easiest exhibit to find. It is over by the elephants. This exhibit here is for the zoo's Asian elephant. It does feel like a very modern elephant enclosure.
It is also massive, which
Yeah,
elephants need.
A lot of enrichment toys. Look, she's got a keg there she could play with. On exhibit today is only one elephant. I would assume, based on the size of the enclosure, they probably have more. But that's a pretty big elephant there. Have to mention this when I was talking about that elephant enclosure. That was only half of it. There is another half that is very large. For my money, one of the prettiest animals on the planet here. These are jaguars. There's 2 of them. It seems sort of separated by, I guess, male and female. But just a beautiful animal. Enclosure here is pretty cool for the jaguar. Lots of perches and things for it to climb on. And just super pretty. I'm sad I didn't have the camera on you right over here when we walked down. The next section of the zoo is the children's trail. You have a bunch of horse-type creatures here. There's Popeye.
Horse?
It's a miniature horse, and I guess he's a mule?
Yeah, he is a mule.
He's really big for a mule. Sorry, I insulted you. All right.
That's why he's named Popeye.
He doesn't look like a sailor, man. Oh, these guys are cool, though. You've got Strawberry, the miniature horse, and then Dinky the donkey. A lot of the animals here at the zoo don't have names. But even if I knew all their names, it'd be hard to beat Dinky the donkey.
Dinky's a really good thing.
Hanging out over here, some chickens. Very interested in something going on over here. Yeah, it's fun. These guys are cool. Look at the horns on some of these sheep. They do seem pretty fluffy as well. So I think of everything at the zoo that I haven't seen happen that I would want to. I believe this is a slide built for chickens. And the chickens would walk up the laddery thing and then come down the mesh as if it was like a children's, like a playground attraction.
It would be something to see. But can't they fly?
I don't think chickens fly.
Like, not giant fly.
They went like very short.
Correct, they wouldn't walk up, but they would like jump, fly type thing.
And then slide down.
Yeah.
A couple of small cows over here. Now, what does this machine do, Molly? Does it get like, it fluffs the cows?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like a car wash.
Yeah, I really don't think you can have a petting zoo area without goats.
No, it's illegal.
This guy's pretty cool, as that other cow wants some attention. I think these guys are zebus, but I'm not 100% sure. Really up close. He probably likes getting petted. Or maybe not. There are a couple of them here. Sleeping over here is some warty pigs. They're fun looking animals.
They just live on.
It is lunchtime over here for the red-necked wallabies. Kind of a rough name, but an adorable little animal. We got one hopping away over there. Oh, look at this guy. So here's a quick view of the zoo map. Not exactly the easiest zoo to navigate, like there's not a lot of clear paths, but you got the Arizona Trail over there, the Africa Trail and some desert stuff up at the top, the Tropics Trail, and then it looks like the children's area is towards the bottom. So this here is Stingray Bay. This is an extra charge attraction. I think it's like $3 or $4 to go in there. And then another $3 or $4 if you want to feed the stingrays.
You don't ever see a waterfall with the stingray.
No, that's pretty different.
Yeah.
And they do have a bunch of different types of rays in there, including the cow-nose ray, which might be my favorite. Those guys are cool. Why, Molly? What time is it currently?
Beer 30?
Beer 30 indeed. We're here near the front of the park in the central hub area. They got a couple of craft beers on draft, all from a Huss Brewing Company located here in Tempe, Arizona. And including a Papago Orange Blossom, which we're drinking.
Yeah.
Really good. And Papago is the name of the park the zoo's located in. I might have to come back to try that Scottsdale Blonde Cove. Beer's gonna run you about $8.50. Now, the Phoenix Zoo is not a small place, so if you don't feel like walking, maybe you're a little bit older or you have kids, you can take the Safari Cruiser, which will take you around most of the zoo. I think it's like $6. Not running right now due to the ongoing global health situation, but the zoo does have a 4D movie theater as an upcharge attraction. Don't know what they show, not open right now. I'm sure once things get a little bit better, it'll pop back up. For a couple bucks at the zoo, you can ride the Endangered Species Carousel. I always like when they have a whole bunch of different animals on there. There's a shark over there. And a Triceratops.
That is endangered.
I think it's worse than endangered, Molly. But it looks very happy to be on the carousel. And that'll do it for our time here at the Phoenix Zoo. We were here for about 4 hours.
Yep.
It did cost about $25 to get in. I definitely feel like we got our money worth. It is a big zoo.
It is a giant zoo. So much room that they can expand.
And a lot of the animals, yeah, some of the animals are gigantic exhibits. Yeah, I feel like we got our money's worth. I enjoyed, some of the exhibits are a bit older.
Yes.
They do have new stuff. And I think some of my favorite stuff was just like all the Arizona stuff and how it's built into the mountains and the rocks and things like that.
Yeah, inside the park.
Yeah. Did you have a favorite animal?
The warthog.
For me, I think it was the mandrill. Being that close to a mandrill obviously didn't work so great with the TV, with the glare and stuff like that. But the mandrill for me, I would say I would definitely recommend the zoo if you have to be.
I also like the prairie dogs.
Oh, the prairie dog is cute, and the burrowing owl.
Oh yes.
I would recommend the zoo. I would say I don't know if I could do this during the Phoenix heat of the summer.
Yes.
We are recording this in February, in a very pleasant like 75-degree day. If it was 100 and something, I don't know if I could do it. All right, guys, that'll do it for a tour and review here of the Phoenix Zoo. If you have any questions about the zoo, let us know in the comment section below, and thank you very much for watching.